Okay, we've got the Samsung Galaxy Book Ion. This is the 15.6 version, which you can tell it has the numpad. That's here on the side. One of the main reasons why I went with the 15.6 is because of the flexibility and upgradability of this particular laptop. This is the only laptop in Samsung's 2020 lineup which offers an additional memory slot as well as an additional NVMe slot. And so you may have seen in some other videos that I have already upgraded the memory, which I can go ahead and show you this now. Let's see. So if in the task manager, if I go to the memory, we can see that it has a total of 40 gigs. And we can see slots used 2 of 2. Now 8 gigs is soldered on board. You can't touch that. But like I said, there was an additional slot, and in that additional slot I installed a Samsung 32 gig stick in there, which gives me the total of 40, and it's made a huge improvement, huge difference in the response time of the laptop. So another video, or the next upgrade that I did, was I upgraded the NVMe drive that was in here. So it came straight from Samsung with an Intel 660 512 gig NVMe drive, and I upgraded that to a Samsung 970 EVO 1 terabyte drive, and noticed a significant improvement. Since then, I've already replaced the Samsung 970 EVO 1 terabyte with a Samsung 970 EVO Plus 1 terabyte, which I'm getting ready to show you this now. Hopefully you guys can see it. But right here, Samsung SSD 970 EVO Plus 1 terabyte. And I have a lot of, I have a lot of stuff actually on my laptop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install the 970 EVO, which was my main drive. I'm going to install it into the second slot. That way I'll always have an additional gig of memory with me if I ever need it. As you can see, I only have 172 gig of free space available at the moment. So what we are going to do now is we are going to go ahead and shut this down. And then we're going to start removing the back. Okay, so we have the unit turned off. I have my second stick of memory here. This is the Samsung 970 EVO. The Plus is what I have now installed as my main, and then this is going to be my second drive that's going to be in there. So if you've seen my other videos, it shows you how to open this up. There's little rubber feet. It's on each corner. Use something plastic. You don't want to use anything that's made out of metal. It will scratch this. So even though it feels like plastic, it's actually made out of magnesium. And it looks like plastic too, surprisingly. Feels like it. And this is my little screwdriver. There's screws that are located. I think I need to change my bit. Yeah. But I have a video on the screwdriver set. It works really, really well. It comes with a whole bunch of bits here. I'll put a link to it in the description in case anybody's interested. And so there's 4 screws that are located right in the center of each of these little feet. And then after you get all of these out, the next thing that you'll need to do is remove the back cover, which is snapped into place. You have to be a little bit cautious doing that because it snaps on really well. And there is the possibility that you could actually bend the back plate, and so you don't want to damage it. Okay, so we've done that. I have found that trying to pop it from kind of the either edge right here seems to be the best way. And this is, I've got a couple of these little tools like this, and they're normally used in cell phone repair, like the screens or whatever. And then I also have one of these. Now you can use a guitar pick or anything, but basically you just want to find a spot, pop it or right in the seam, and then just slowly work your way around it. So we're going to go ahead and try that now. So as you can see right here in this corner, I just inserted it and it's already popped this corner up. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but you can see it's already lifted a little bit right there. And so we are going to continue to just work slowly around this, because you don't want to get too crazy, because it will leave marks on the back of this lid where, you know, if you were being too aggressive with it. Okay. So as you can see, I'm just working my way around, not trying to manhandle it too much, but because like I said, you can mess it up, and I don't want to. So like, yeah, see how I'm putting just a little bit of tension on it, but I'm not trying to you know, bind it in a way that it will bend, because if you do, you'll definitely notice it. You'll see it even if you straighten it out. All right, let's go ahead and just jump to this other side. I gotta admit, guys, I have been really pleased with this laptop so far. I came from using a Samsung Notebook 9. This is a 13.3 inch, and while it's super light, has an i7 processor, but it's only 2-core, which is interesting. The battery life on it is horrible. It only gets maybe like 3 hours of battery life or something like that. So, but I love the size, I love the portability, but I really needed something that had a lot more battery so it would last longer. And I really love the new lineup of Samsung laptops, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I went here. So now we got the cover loose. I'll set that to the side. And so we're going to take a closer look here. And so there is a metal plate that's here, and there's a screw right here, there's a screw right here, and that is where you remove this cover, and then your extra memory stick goes in there. And then if you're looking here, you can see that I currently have a 970 EVO Plus 1 terabyte, which is installed into slot number 1. And then you also have an additional second slot that is empty. Now, like I said, it originally comes with a Intel 660 512 gig card that's in this slot. I had upgraded to this EVO, just the regular EVO 1 terabyte, and have since upgraded to the EVO Plus, and then I'm going to install this one into the second slot. Now, another thing that is worth mentioning, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can try to get it in really close for you. I don't know how well this is going to work, whether you're going to be able to see it or not. But right here, this is a ×4 slot. It says it right there on the board. And then on this one, this is a ×2 slot. Okay, so keep that in mind. So if you decide to upgrade or whatever, you'll always want to keep this as your main drive, boot drive. And then anything additional that you want, put it over here. I don't know how the speeds are going to be, but we're going to find out. So there is a screw that's already in here. And guys, this is just so simple. There's really nothing to it. Just take the little screw out. Right, and you have the little gap that's there. I forget what they call that. It's pushed in a little bit. Make sure that this lines up in the center so that it will recess around it, and then put the screw in. Okay. So now I have two Samsung 1 terabyte drives in here. Main drive is the EVO Plus. The second one is the regular EVO. So now we're going to need to put it all back together. So we have our cover here. Let's see if I can get all this back in the frame for you guys. Hopefully you were able to see everything. Snap it all back in. It's not really difficult to snap it back together. You just kind of want to make sure that you have that you have it all the way around, which we do. We're in good shape. So now we need to install our screws again, which we're going to do now. If you guys are able to watch me do this. It's a really easy laptop to work on, to be honest. It comes apart so easily. You just have to be, it's like anything. You gotta use a little bit of caution. Don't be crazy. Now, from what I understand, there's no real gain. If anything, there's a slight loss in performance when you RAID, like RAID 0 2 drives. So, because I had thought about trying that, but then once I noticed on the board that one was a 4-time slot and the other one was a 2-time slot, I figured that it wouldn't be a good idea. So that's why I went ahead and just decided to buy another drive, use the best drive as my main drive, and then have this other one as a secondary backup if I'm traveling. I do a lot of photography and stuff like that, so I'd have the ability to just go ahead and add stuff onto the second drive since my main drive is already filling up. Okay, so we are booting up, and we now have 2 drives in here. And it's taking a minute. Okay. So here we are. don't think it's detected that second drive yet. No, it hasn't. Okay. So let's go to the disk manager and see if it's there. Okay. Close Amazon Music because we don't want to look at that. Wonder why that's saying disk 0. I don't know. But let's go ahead and let's wipe it out. Then we're going to create a new simple volume and make sure this is using all that's available. Sign letter D, which is fine. And I don't like to have volume labels. Okay, so we should be good to go. I'm not for sure why it showed up as disk 0 versus, and the other one is disk 2. I don't really know what that part's about. But so here we can see that we have a drive C, and then we have a drive D. And each one of these are 1 terabytes. So everything seems to be working well. Here we can see we have 2 drives in there. So I have a lot of flexibility on a second drive if I needed it. So I'm just going to try to transfer something. I'm trying to think what to transfer. Let's do this. Let's do video projects. May. Let's see. So this is a almost 4 gig file. Now let's do a smaller one. This one is about 2 gigs. So I'm going to copy that from my Synology server to my desktop. It's the first thing we're going to do. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'm doing this over wireless, so I'm 30 seconds. And I seem to be, okay, there we go. We're seeing a pickup. So this is just going over Wi-Fi now. So we're in the mid 50s. And then now that we'll have it here, I'm going to transfer it to that second drive. I could probably do some read-write tests, but no big deal. Okay, so here we have the file, right? And this is on our main drive, which is the Samsung EVO Plus. So it's currently on this drive. Here, we're going to move it over to this drive and see how much faster it is. Now the Plus is obviously the faster drive, so any limitation would definitely be on the second. So let's see what we get. It's done. Sorry, I don't know how fast that was, but it's done. So as you can see, one of the great things if you're working, and you have a GoPro or something like that, and you need to pull files quick, and you don't have internet available, you don't have an extra drive with you, you have one that's already built into this particular laptop. So other than upgrading, the existing drives that are currently in here to say like, 2 terabytes each or whatever, I'm pretty much maxed out. And so here we can see we have the SSD 970 EVO 1 terabyte, and then here we have the EVO Plus 1 terabyte. So that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed, and any questions, feel free to ask. I'll post a link to the drives that I have installed down below in the description. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.